Marcus Garvey once quoted saying, "A people without knowledge of their past history, culture, and origin is like a tree without roots."
The enslaved Africans of the Bahamas were liberated, emancipated on the 1st of August, 1834, some 186 years ago. But the question has to be asked, today, are we truly free?
Well, Emancipation Day is extremely significant. If you look at our brothers and sisters to the south, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, their emancipation celebration is actually quite vibrant, quite big. In the Bahamas, it used to be like that at one point. But in my opinion, emancipation is important. One reason why is because essentially it's important to our history, and it's arguably the greatest achievement that we achieved in solidarity in our history. Emancipation was us moving out of chattel slavery, which is the outright ownership of human beings in the Bahamas. And in the Bahamas, the vast majority of our population were enslaved people of African descent.
When we cross the threshold of emancipation and the apprenticeship process that followed it, does anything significant change?
The vast majority of our blame for what's happening now, people really blame people really talk historically about it. And that's because those that possess economic, political, and social clout in the days of slavery, many of them, the white elite, still possess that political, social, and definitely that economic clout to this day.
See, when you have been, who you are, have been completely rooted out of you, and then you enter into a system of consumerism, and then besides, above consumerism, you enter into a system where you now are responsible for self, and your elevation of who you are strongly based primarily on you taking care of you.
Persons that experience the Mayafa are basically subjected to the same types of traumas that we would see from persons that have experienced war and post-traumatic stress disorder. And that this trauma that the enslaved people had has been passed down epigenetically, right, from generation to generation. When we look at how we discipline children, right, like where does that come from? I've had another person I know said that when they were a child, their mother used to tie their hands up and strip them and then beat them with their hands tied up, right? So where do these methods of discipline come from, and why do we hold on to them so strongly and believe in them?
The truth of emancipation is definition. Why is it definition? Because when you become emancipated, now you define yourself. Free people don't pursue happiness. Free people create their happiness. Free people are not defined. Free people define themselves. Remember that word. So when you talk freedom and emancipation, what now the Bahamas needs to engage in my view, is the dawn of completely defining ourselves by the thoughts, the ideas we choose to endorse, independent of our colonial past or our imperialistic Western present. Who we are, the nose, the hair, the look, the culture. Let's define ourselves by those things, independent of what history tells us. So I would say emancipation needs to now be celebrated as the definition of self.
It's important to note that we were never meant to survive after the Mayafa. We survived. Our humanity rose. We created from this experience Junkanoo, chicken sauce, capoeira, jazz, right? All of these things came from a people that have been traumatized and severely traumatized. So I think while it's important to recognize the trauma, it's really in some ways, to me, more important to recognize the strengths and the resilience and the beauty and the magic that has come out of this trauma, right? The fact that we can still love and laugh and learn.
I think that emancipation has had a remarkable transformational impact on the lives of people who were enslaved, but the transformation is not complete. The freedom is not complete. Emancipation has not left us fully free, but it was an absolutely fundamental step in the right direction. Happy Emancipation Day, Bahamas.
Happy Emancipation Day, Bahamas.
Happy Emancipation Day, Bahamas. Enjoy it. Remember your ancestors. Remember those that fought for us. And let us never forget to continue on that fight. Well, some say never forget. I say always remember. But at least on Emancipation Day, let's remember our ancestors that fought and died for us to be where we are today.